If someone told you 5 years ago that Toyota would go head-to-head with Tesla in the EV world, most people would have laughed it off. But in 2026, the conversation has shifted. Toyota's newest electric SUV, the rebranded and completely re-engineered Toyota BZ, just stepped onto the same battlefield as the Tesla Model 3 and the Tesla Model Y. And what's wild is that Toyota isn't just showing up to participate, they might actually be here to cause problems. Because between a bigger battery, better range, and full access to Tesla's supercharger network, the BZ suddenly looks like more than just a rival. It looks like a threat. So today we're taking a deep dive into how the 2026 Toyota BZ stacks up against Tesla's updated Model 3 and the refreshed Model Y. The differences might not be what you expect. And by the end, you might rethink which EV actually gives you the best value. Let's get into it. Toyota didn't just update their electric SUV, they basically rebuilt its entire personality. The first change hits right away. The name. The old BZ4X branding is gone. For 2026, it's just Toyota BZ. Clean, modern, and honestly overdue. But the naming change is only the first sign that Toyota wanted a fresh start. Under the surface, the BZ now packs a much more capable battery setup. Many trims are using a 74.7 kilowatt-hour battery, which immediately boosted range across the lineup. Then Toyota finally fixed the elephant in the room: charging. They ditched the old connector and switched to NACS, meaning Toyota owners can now plug straight into Tesla superchargers. That alone is enough to make thousands of buyers reconsider the BZ who ignored the old model entirely. Inside, the cabin got the makeover it desperately needed. The 14-inch touchscreen takes center stage, surrounded by a cleaner, more premium layout. Wireless CarPlay and Android Auto come standard, and Toyota even added in regenerative braking paddles behind the wheel, something Tesla still doesn't offer. And of course, Toyota remembered the customers who don't want a bland commuter car. That's where the BZ Woodland comes in: all-wheel drive, boosted horsepower, rugged capability, and a design clearly meant for people who want a little adventure without going full off-road. All these changes aren't small adjustments. They're the foundation of a completely different value proposition. Toyota finally feels like they're not tiptoeing into the EV space. They're actually committing. But impressive upgrades are only half the story. What matters next is whether all that new hardware actually performs. When you look at how the 2026 BZ actually performs, the improvements start to make even more sense. In its stronger configurations, the BZ pushes up to 338 horsepower, a massive step up from earlier years. That translates to a 0 to 60 time around 4.9 seconds, which is quick enough to surprise anyone expecting Toyota to play it safe. Range depends on your trim, but the numbers are finally competitive. Some front-wheel drive versions reach over 300 miles, while the AWD models land closer to 278 miles, depending on wheels and equipment. None of this is best in class, but it's more than respectable, especially at the price Toyota is targeting. Charging speeds hit around 150 kilowatts, giving you a 10 to 80% charge in roughly half an hour. And now that you can plug straight into Tesla's supercharger network, the entire ownership experience instantly becomes more convenient. That might be the single most important move Toyota made. The region braking paddles are a subtle but meaningful touch. You get real control over how the car slows down and how much energy it recovers. Tesla uses automated systems here, but Toyota's manual control approach gives the driving experience a more personal feel. Transition. But performance is only one piece of the puzzle. If Toyota wants to steal buyers from Tesla, the numbers have to make financial sense too. Here's where Toyota starts making its strongest argument. The 2026 BZ's starting price comes in around $34,900, making it one of the most affordable long-range EVs from a major brand. And that's not a stripped-down model. It still includes Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, wireless smartphone integration, and all the essential features buyers expect. Cargo space is solid, especially in the AWD and Woodland trims. The driving position feels familiar, the visibility is good, And Toyota's reliability reputation still matters for people nervous about EV repairs or long-term battery health. So for buyers who want a balanced EV, something efficient, comfortable, priced well, and backed by a dependable brand, Toyota suddenly looks way more appealing than it did just a year or two ago. Transition. But now let's turn to the company that's been defining the EV conversation for over a decade, because Tesla didn't take 2026 off. The 2026 Tesla Model 3 sticks to the formula that made it famous, but with enough updates to keep it exciting. The biggest story is the return of a true standard trim, bringing the price and simplicity back down to earth. Tesla realized that not everyone wants insane performance. Some people just want a reliable, efficient EV at a more accessible cost. But if you do want performance, Tesla has you covered. The Model 3 performance hits 0 to 60 in about 2.8 seconds. Supercar territory, but in a four-door sedan. Nothing in Toyota's lineup comes close to that level of acceleration. Range spreads from around 298 miles up to roughly 363 miles, depending on the trim and wheels. That keeps the Model 3 among the most efficient EVs ever built. And with 250 kilowatts charging, you get faster top-end charging speeds than the Toyota BZ can offer. Inside, the standard trim is more minimalistic than before. Manual steering wheel adjustments, simpler materials, and a more functional approach. It's still clean and futuristic, just not as premium as the upper trims. But even with those compromises, the Model 3 remains one of the most efficient and best-performing EVs on the market. And while the Model 3 is Tesla's classic sedan, the Model Y is still Tesla's best-selling car. And 2026 brings some serious updates. The 2026 Model Y, known internally as the Juniper update, gets a fresh look. Thinner headlights, sharper lines, and a more modern front design clean up the SUV's appearance. The body looks more polished and refined. A much-needed visual refresh. Like the Model 3, the YY also gains a standard trim, using a single motor and delivering a surprisingly solid 321-mile range when optioned right. The premium RWD model can stretch up to 357 miles, making it one of the longest-range electric SUVs anywhere near its price. For people who want thrill-level performance, the Model Y performance finishes the job with a 3.3-second 0 to 60 time. Ridiculous for a family SUV. The AWD Premium model, with around 397 horsepower, strikes a perfect balance between practicality and power. Charging speeds remain strong, and Tesla's charging software is still ahead of most competitors. Inside, Tesla finally addressed one of the biggest criticisms: noise. The 2026 Y uses more sound insulation and better materials, giving it a quieter, more premium feel. Ventilated seats in the rear display make long trips more comfortable, especially for families. The price ranges from the mid-$40,000s up to around $60,000, depending on how wild you want to go. There are still occasional owner reports of autopilot issues or features disabling themselves during software updates, but that's part of the Tesla experience. Constant changes, sometimes with unexpected side effects. And this all leads us to the real showdown, where each of these EVs truly stands when compared head-to-head. Let's look at the big picture. Range versus price. Toyota offers a surprisingly strong range per dollar value, but Tesla still wins at the high end with its longest range trims. So it depends on budget. High-performance buyers will trend toward Tesla, value-focused buyers toward Toyota. Charging network. Both brands use the same connector now, but Tesla's in-car navigation and charging software still make road tripping easier. Toyota owners benefit massively from supercharger access, but Tesla still feels more seamless. Performance. Tesla absolutely dominates. The Model 3 performance and Model Y performance are simply on a different level. Toyota doesn't even try to compete here. And that's okay, because not every buyer cares about extreme speed. Interior and ease of use. This is where Toyota pulls ahead for many people. Tesla's ultra-minimalist design isn't for everyone. Toyota keeps physical controls, offers Regan paddles, and delivers a more normal car feel, something many buyers prefer. Reliability and risk. Toyota's reputation still matters, especially for conservative buyers. Tesla's constant software changes and occasional hardware quirks are a gamble some people don't want to deal with. Who each car is for Toyota? BZ, buyers who want value, practicality, range, and dependability. Tesla Model 3, drivers who want efficiency, technology, and top-tier performance in a sedan. Tesla Model Y, families needing cargo space, long range, versatility, and strong resale value. And with all that on the table, here's the big takeaway. The 2026 Toyota BZ is the first Toyota EV that truly feels ready for the spotlight. Strong range, smart pricing, better performance, and supercharger access finally make it a real challenge to Tesla's dominance. But Tesla didn't lose its edge. The Model 3 remains one of the most efficient EVs on the road, and the updated Model Y might still be the overall best electric SUV for families. So the real question is simple. What matters most to you? If you want raw speed, cutting-edge tech, and the most polished EV software, Tesla still holds the crown. But if you want comfort, value, and a dependable all-around EV experience, the Toyota BZ is turning into one of the smartest options on the market. Drop a comment below. Would you take the Toyota BZ, the Tesla Model 3, or the Model Y? And what's the deciding factor for you? Range, price, comfort, or performance? Let's talk about it.